Ladies and gents, hello and welcome. My name, of course, is Obert Potato. His name is Rhapsody, and this is ShellShock Live.
Hey, you brought it round. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for the homage in your intro.
I do. I sort of thought that maybe it was, ripping on you a little bit too much, but it was pure mark of respect about how much how much you've got this whole dramatic tension thing down and this whole drama thing anyway. You're on top of it, man. I must say.
Thank you. I really appreciate you saying so because I know, especially that when you say it, you must be sincere. It couldn't possibly be facetious.
I am actually being sincere. I'm a very sincere guy.
All right, I appreciate that. Then tell me about your best humble brag of all time.
that joke is like gone. It's like 5 episodes ago, dude.
Damn, you're right. You're right.
Okay, hold on a minute. Hold on. Can I do this? Can I do this?
Can you? Actually, you know what? We haven't recorded in a very long time. A little bit of a behind the scenes kind of thing. Because we banked a bunch of episodes beforehand, so we kind of took a break over the Christmas gap. But have you written anything in your little journal of topics for SSL that you want to hit? Over that long period of time, I have to imagine something came up and you were like, this would be a good SSL topic.
So, here's the thing. Which, okay, this brings on to like another topic, right? Okay, 90, a crit for okay, sure, whatever.
Yeah, direct hit as well on my first attack.
Well, yeah, sure, that's impressive, but I think, the really impressive thing is a direct hit for 90.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
That's why I don't know why I said that. Okay, here's the thing. I do have a list, right? I do have a list of like topic conversations. Also, here's the thing. I started creating a list of like bits, not like like sketches and stuff that I want to talk about, but more just like things that I would think would make for a good reoccurring conversational topic.
Give me an example of what is a bit and is not a topic. I need to understand the differentiation between the two. So what's a bit and not a topic?
That was a bad description. What I should quantify it is like, I didn't mean bits. What I actually meant was just reoccurring topics.
Okay.
I didn't mean bits at all. Like bits, of course, was the entirely wrong turn of phrase to use. But
I can see like if a topic is recurring, it becomes a bit.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah, look, you're just being generous.
I'm not being generous. No. There's what is it? It's like once is a joke, 2 is a bit, 3 is a gag. I think like there's actually like some sort of a vague taxonomy of those kinds of things. It's really interesting.
Is there?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before, I must say.
It's not like a heavily agreed upon kind of thing, but I have heard that used before. So yeah, no, I totally on board. Recurring themes, bits, hell yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. I'm glad. So I've started making a list of things that I think would be interesting sort of topics of conversation again and again and again. So, there we go. So yeah, and I also do have a master list of things to talk about at some point.
Excellent.
Because I just enjoy it. I just enjoy thinking about it.
And you won't divulge any of these at this point.
I will not, but the reason for not divulging them is because of me, not because I am unwilling to divulge.
Sorry, I may have missed a word there. Is because of?
Is because I do not have that information in front of me.
Ah, okay. Well, that's fair enough.
Oh, come off it, man.
That, because the 12 wind actually does affect that slightly, you would have had to be on the other side of the hump that I'm standing on. Like, that's a hard shot to hit, my friend.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
You know your intro for Slay the Spire, right? Or I can't remember. Can you do your intro for Slay the Spire?
My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Slay the Spire. Just continues into whatever is the standard pattern for the format of that episode.
Okay, so I watched an episode of Slay the Spire recently.
Yep.
Does occasionally happen. It was all right. I can't remember if you won.
Probably did. Not recently, no. I'm doing the High Ascension Heartbreaker grind, so...
Yeah, before you hit 500 episodes, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, still haven't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hang on, when's this episode coming out? This episode's coming out in what? We've recorded 5 episods today. A little bit of dating, right? So a couple of weeks. So yeah, I still would not have hit 500.
What I was gonna say is that you did this intro. It's like, hi, my name is Rhapsody, or Ryan if you're nasty.
Ah, yeah, that was my first video back after the break that I took for the holidays. Yeah. My name is Rhapsody, or Ryan if you're nasty, and welcome back.
Yeah.
I like to change my intro from time to time. It was I just enjoy doing it.
So like, what was the inspiration behind that? Is that like a song, or is it something?
Yeah, no, it's kind of like a popular, like a cultural cliche kind of thing in America at the moment. Like it is basically exactly what it sounds like, which is here's like a normal thing, but here's like another thing instead if you're nasty, like if you're on board with that, if that's something you're into.
So like
it's not particularly relevant to the way that I used it in my intro, but I don't know, I like it.
Like, okay, can you describe it in the context of anything else?
I can't. I actually, like, I was trying to think of a good example.
Like that shot was nasty?
No. It's not like that. No. It's like it's the format is typically this or this if you're nasty. Although you can't say
area
your,
strike,
it has to be
like,
this.
Like area strike or big shot if you're nasty.
No. It's like 2 options, one of which is a little too clean for the situation, one of which is a little dirtier for the situation. Right, those 2 are kind of on the same level, so they don't really compete in that fashion. Hell yeah.
Tax avoidance if you're me, or tax evasion if you're nasty, sort of like thing. Like
well,
that's sort of like.
Yes, I guess possibly. I can't format it well, right? But I like it. I like trying to swap my intro from time to time. Like I don't do it as much these days as I used to.
Yeah.
Whereas like I used to, every episode had a different intro for a while, just because I wanted to mess with people, basically. I'm kind of just interested in, like, when things become super formulaic, like obviously I've done almost 500 episodes of Slay the Spire now in the main series. When things become super formulaic, I like to try and break that up a little bit, like insert like things that might be unexpected, subvert some expectations, things like that.
Wow.
That's a cool weapon. One that I don't actually have unlocked though. But yeah, so that's effectively why I do that. What would you say, like, have you ever done your intro differently? No, not obviously your old intro versus your new intro, but like,
yeah.
Have you ever adapted it to the situation at hand for the sake of a joke outside of like duo recording sessions with me? Because we kind of both do that with SSL.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. I mean, I kind of changed it up a little bit for the Civilization 6 series, Scotland the Brave, or Scotland the Brave.
I
to the Highlands. Aye. So I guess kinda, but like not nearly to the extent that you do. But I want to. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a net positive, you know.
Oh yeah, no, it's good fun to do as well. It keeps you interested as well. Like the amount of times I've had to describe to people, like a lot of the vocal flourishes that I use, I don't really use in real life, but they're things that I picked up because I'm talking to myself hours every day with no end. I kind of use them to entertain myself a little bit, right? Just keep myself entertained while I'm talking by using fun, turns of phrase and things like that. Like it's just to keep myself interested.
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that. That's true. Okay, let me have a look.
Have you ever found that you picked up an affect while recording and then it bled into your everyday life?
I feel that the answer to that is probably yes, but I can't think of anything that immediately sticks out as like super apparent. What about you?
Almost certainly. Like there's a bunch of the filler phrases, the vocal filler phrases that like you would be well familiar with, but I will take a second here to describe, where nothing's really happening on screen and there's nothing really to talk about, but you need to say something because you can't really have that much dead air in videos. It's just bad practice. So you have things that you will say in that time that don't mean anything, but they bridge it until something happens that you can then talk about. So loading screens are a good example of this kind of thing.
I agree. I feel like genuinely in conversations, I feel that most people are okay with a little bit of lull in the conversation. However, I think you're right. I've become extra sensitive to sort of the lull in the conversation, and will immediately try and fill it, even at the expense of myself, so to speak. You know,
yes.
You want to just like get something out there.
Yeah, extremely similar.
Yeah. The other thing that I would comment on, I think, is I have become attuned to when people say and ah.
Yes.
Right?
Those, by the way, just quick thing, those aren't the vocal filler phrases we're talking about. We're talking about phrases like things that you would say that aren't necessarily a sentence that needed to be said, like oftentimes truisms.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, and ah, those really irritate me nowadays, actually.
I agree. I agree entirely. But you see, the problem is that it's just general language for everyone else, and no one else realizes really doing it. So it's kind of like a catch-22, because you don't want to sound like a, like a little bit of a meanie to point out that someone has said 15 times in the last minute, because it happens a lot. Like, as soon as you start paying attention, you will notice it. It happens in every conversation. Yeah.
You've been doing it over the course of your description of this. It's just, it becomes incredibly apparent when someone is using them for what we would use vocal filler phrases for, which is to say more than the bridging of a couple of words. Instead, it's the bridging of like a relatively long period of time. Like that kind of thing, especially. And you don't really ever call anyone out on it, right? Because that would be like a mechanic calling someone out on, no, you couldn't change your own ignition. Like, no.
The gasket? Do you not know where the gasket is?
I don't know where the gasket is. I actually don't know what a car is. I'm unfamiliar, broadly.
That's fair comment. That's fair comment. Yeah, so it's weird. Have you got any other examples? You got any other things that affected your life IRL from the YouTube world?
Habits that I picked up, like vocal habits that I picked up. I modulate my voice a lot better.
Yeah?
Because back before I had like a gator compressor limiter, I was doing all of that effectively with my own voice. So the idea is that you need to be able to get across the intensity of yelling, but without actually increasing the volume. So you need to make it really obvious that you're trying to yell, but it's the same volume, right? So you get the intensity, but you don't change the actual dynamic range of what you're recording. But the same for whispering, you need to make sure that people know that you're trying to like get across a whispery kind of thing, but you're not actually whispering, you're doing the same volume. And I do that vocally like all the time as well. I kind of keep everything within a standard band.
And another thing that I would, there's a couple of things really, which is I'm more attuned to when like people interject in conversations, which I am terrible at doing, and I know I'm terrible at doing because it's bad recording, sort of, what's the phrase? Etiquette, and also, just sounds bad on the mic. But yeah, so I've become more attuned to that, I would say. Also, like vocabulary, I think you probably are the same. You try to use different words if you've used a word previously, because you don't want the flow of the sentence to sound weird.
Yes.
Like if I say sentence in the word sentence twice, then that just like twigs as like something that's a little bit unnatural. So you try and avoid that. You feel that?
Yes, entirely agreed. I specifically actually think it's not necessarily directly related to speech and like the cadence and flow of what you're saying, but in particular is directly related to being able to deliver an interesting sentence, people get really, really bored of the same word when it's used 2 times. But also, like, you can't use the same word in the punchline and setup of joke. And oftentimes, punch setup, like, is a little bit more malleable in live commentary. So oftentimes that occurs over the course of a single sentence. And you need to be using different words so that it's actually a little bit of a twist rather than kind of humdrum and predictable.
Yeah, that's really interesting. That's really interesting. You're very much more skilled at this than I am. I think your commentary is some of the best on YouTube, really, genuinely. I'm not even just like.
I appreciate that. Thank
that.
you very much.
It's very well thought out, and it's always it's very apparent. It's just it's so easy to watch the stuff that you put out, right? Because the conversation is, as you say, always interesting, and it always feels like you've put thought into the conversation, right?
That's purely by accident, I assure.
No. I think that's intentional, right? It's like it feels like you know what you're gonna say, even though I don't think you do.
I do try and sit like a sentence ahead if I can.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's really impressive.
I really appreciate you saying so. Thank you.
At least that's my reading of the situation anyway. I want to try and improve my commentary this year. I feel like I've sort of let it slip a little bit since.
Really?
You know. Yeah, I feel I have, definitely.
In what way?
I just don't feel it's as smooth. I mean, you got to keep in mind that, I mean, what was it, like 2,500, 3,000 videos, something like that. I basically recorded back to back forever with zero break ever.
Yeah.
And then I took a 2-year break. I get you see, doing it all the time now. Now I'm becoming super self-conscious about it. So yeah, conscious of the fact that I want to improve this year.
That really does happen over an incredibly short period of time. I took 2 weeks off and I came back and I was like, I don't know how to talk at all. And also, I don't really talk that much in my everyday life. Like, I don't really. I'm kind of much more solitary kind of person. There was just like a period of 2 weeks where like the amount of talking that I would typically experience in a day was cut to like 5%, 2% of what I would usually be saying. So I just stopped being able to use language in the way that I had previously. That was just 2 weeks.
Right? But also, it's like different conversation because, you know, when you're playing a game solo, which is why I think that oftentimes YouTube personalities come across very, very differently in like YouTube multiplayer series as opposed to solo series. I don't think it's because they have a fundamentally different personality. It's just because when you have another person in the room, or another 2 people in the room, or another 3 people in the room, whatever, you're sharing a workload sort of much more, and you know, that comes across as apparent.
Plus,
you can't just say what you want to say all the time.
Definitely, but the dynamic also changes, right? Like,
oh, I agree. Yeah, absolutely.
Where you have to bounce all of everything that you're using in your commentary off of yourself or off of the game, you can bounce it off of other people in duo recording, which just gives you a lot more opportunities to branch into different kinds of jokes, different kinds of things. It's nice. It's a good experience.
I agree. It's not even like it's not like it's even better commentary. It's just really, really different.
It does take getting used to. Like the first time I did a group recording session after, like, because when you quit, I just stopped doing collaborative content for ages. Yeah. And then the first time I brought someone back on was bringing back on Lolash to revive the How to Beat series. And it was difficult. I think we may have scrapped like our first episode because I just did not feel confident in it. I was like, I was talking over you the entire time. I kept dominating the conversation. I was not used to it.
And it sounds really weird to like think about it, and the fact that it's difficult to have a conversation, but it is like an acquired skill, right? You know, you practice it, and it's like voice muscles as well, right? I feel that my voice has become a lot more I think what you sort of talked a little bit about cadence and volume, it's become stronger, I feel.
Yes.
Like I can talk for a lot longer than I used to be able to.
Yeah.
Without serious worry of damage or whatever.
Oh, extremely. Yeah, that is definitely a relatable phenomenon. I was actually going to talk at one point at length. It was in actually the fabled 1K Q&A that never came out.
Oh yeah.
I was going to talk at length about the fact that, like, for a very long period of my life, I just didn't talk at all. So recording was actually kind of how I built up my voice to have any at all. And if you go back to like the oldest stuff that I have available on my channel at the moment, you'll hear that it is impossible to tell that was me. Oh wow, I didn't think that blew up. Huh.
Yeah, it's not a super long distance. The weird thing is, right? Here's the thing. If you perhaps, okay, so let's say on average you record 3 videos a day, right? 3 videos a day, an hour each, give or take, just like, roughly ballparking it, right? You're basically talking to yourself for the most part for 3 hours, right? Yeah. That's 3 hours of practicing solo conversation. Whereas in actuality, you'll probably only maybe have like an hour of conversation with other people throughout the day. Because of course, regular conversations aren't continual like your YouTube Let's Play, so to speak. So it's weird. It's really, really weird.
And of course, it's just completely different topics as well. Have to carry the conversation in a different way. Yeah. Yeah,
exactly. It's when you're talking casually, most of the time you're not talking using technical vocabulary either. You're using like generic vocabulary. However, when you play Slay the Spire, well, you're not always using technical vocabulary, but you use it a significant amount of the time, which is another interesting point.
I kind of am, in my everyday interactions, often that formal as well, though. It kind of just plays into my personality, basically.
I don't even mean for formality, right? But you're talking about like really deep and interesting concepts. However, there's not much of an opportunity to talk about, how if you talked about how a car worked, for example, right? You wouldn't start talking about
turn the key and it goes,
the gasket and all that nonsense.
Of course I wouldn't. I don't know about any of it.
Yeah. Well, exactly. But in Slay the Spire, you do. You know about it all.
I'm still trying to learn more about STS because I don't know, like I constantly shift back and forth in different play styles. Some of them have more success and some of them have less success, and I feel like there's possibly like fundamentals there that I'm still missing, and that's after 1,336 hours. It's a really deep game.
Yeah, I mean, when I stopped playing Dota, I feel like I was barely scratching the surface, and I know that you agree with that.
Yes.
So it's like pretty insane how deep such a simple concept game can go.
Yeah. 2 people as well. Well, the primary production is just by 2 people.
Is it?
Yeah. Casey
and
Anthony.
The greatest. The greatest.
Almost.
All right.
What
is this?
It's not even gonna hit you. I can never hit that.
It's a toughie to aim. I'll grant you that. Dude, I've got absolutely nada.
Oh, I know the feeling. Airstrike, Chicken Hurl, Splitter, Dual Needler, Growler, Madbird, Spotter XL, Tangent Fire, Twinkler, and Slammer. None of these are really good from my position to yours.
Yeah. I think we might be holding out until the next batch-a-roo of weapons.
Yay.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's not...
Pretty good. It had to crit to get 24. Pretty good. Pretty.
It's going to be better than this.
Is it?
Which
You just got another weapon.
I don't understand how that works. I don't understand how that works. Oh yeah, sorry. I got heavy fleet.
As well as a bunch of armor. You got a good time. Oh, this isn't even going to hit because of the wind. Ah!
Okay. Speaking of good time, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Talk about a piñata. Have you ever hit a piñata before?
Almost certainly. Probably back when I was a kid. I'm gonna guess. Yeah. I don't think I've ever intentionally hit a piñata. I think I've only ever been handed a bat and someone said, "There's candy in that." And I was like, "Okay, cool. That's where the candy is. That's the candy receptacle. That's the candy repository. I must break in and purloin for myself some candy."
Do you call it candy?
Candy?
Is that a...
Yeah, well,
candy.
So candy is more of an American kind of thing, but so are piñatas and things like that. Like, well, as in North American and like the American continent.
Yeah, no, I got that. I got that bit. It was...
Yeah, but it's so... I guess like when I think about lollies in terms of a piñata, I think about them as candy. But when I think about them in general, like if you handed me a gummy worm and was like, "What's this?" That's a lolly.
A lolly?
Lolly,
really?
yeah. What do you call it? Sweet?
A sweet.
Yeah. No, we don't bang with sweets. Sweet's not a thing.
It's candy or it's nasty.
Yeah.
Is that the way to say it? Is that the way?
Well, I guess you could go with yeah, no, it's hang on, what would it be? What would the format be? I call them lollies or sweets if you're nasty.
Yeah. Lollies or sweets if you're nasty. Exactly. Oh!
Almost.
Oh.
All right, new weapon time. Hell yeah! I even get the first shot.
That's very disappointing. Oh, this is great. This is...
Ooh.
Oh. Yeah, that's that hurts.
So it should. I'd be mad if it didn't.
That's all right. Okay, here we go. There we go. Heavy jet. A couple of crits? Nope. No crits at all. Disappointing.
Did you really need a crit there, though?
I really did. Come on. Oh, no.
Okay. Oh, you healed up again.
Oh, you haven't maxed out your luck tree. That's why you're not getting crits.
I think I did.
Have you?
I don't remember, actually, frankly. I don't really focus on the statistics of this game. I actually don't even really focus on the game. It just happens in the background. Ooh, that 5.
That sucks. That really sucks. Oh, really? Oh, that's BM, dude.
What? I had to aim it at a position where it would grow until it got you.
Well, yeah, me too, but I didn't, and that's the problem.
Oh yeah,
come
I
on.
only used that to show you up.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Oh.
It's a solid 20 damage right there.
Look, blame the RNG. It's all on the RNG.
Your healing last round is why you lived through that round, by the way. And then you healed immediately this round as well. It's just BS.
I've got to do 140 damage this turn. Can I do it?
Can you indeed?
I will give you the exclusive answer right now. No.
All right,
Not
well,
at
maybe
all.
you're
Not even
still
close.
alive. Maybe you're still alive. Yeah.
That is unironically the second time that you've missed with chicken fling this session.
At least you didn't heal at the top of this round.
That's true. That's true.
Oh no.
I don't think it's good enough. The wind is too big.
Yeah, but you have
There's
screwed up
too
my
much
aim.
wind. Ah, yeah, that's true.
Oh, good thing
is
I had that
that?
grappling hook go out there. Otherwise, I don't know what I would have done. All right, I guess I'm going to use the weapon that I just got to kill you.
It's really, really good. Water Trio is great.
That'll get it did. Hell yeah.
Well done. Congratulations. That was a hard-fought battle, and
Thank
I
you
would
so
like
much.
to congratulate you sincerely.
I
Great play.
appreciate this. I graciously accept this medal, prize, and or crown.
Whoa, no one said anything about medals, prizes, or crowns.
Oh. It's a belt then? Is a
yeah.
scholarship named after me? What have I won? Do I get a trip to Aruba? All expenses paid?
Aruba? Where's Aruba?
I don't know. It's just one of those locations they're always giving away trips to.
Yeah. I thought it's like Ibiza or you know, somewhere in the Mediterranean or.
Yeah, I'm gonna go kick it in
Bali.
Mykonos.
What about Bali? Bali must be like
I've
a
been
place
to
where they
Bali.
always do trips to. Yeah.
That is where Australian game shows often give trips to. It's also just like where, like 95% of Australian, like, I would say basically like the lower to middle class will holiday at Bali almost exclusively, and then the kind of the upper class people. What would you say? Upper class? Yeah, lower middle
class,
upper.
the ruling elite.
Yes, the landed gentry are going
landed
about
gentry.
to Sweden, Denmark, Norway, the far-flung places, Scandinavia,
The bourgeoisie.
Yeah, the bourgeoisie. They going all over the place. They going to France so they can learn about the origin of the word bourgeoisie.
Yeah. There we go. I've heard it's Les Miserables. But anyway, ladies and gents, on that note, we're going to finish up the episode. Thank you very, very much for watching. Link to Rhapsody's channel is in the description. It's pretty good. Plays a lot of Slay the Spire and a bunch of other really, really good games with some fantastic commentary to boot as well. So go check that out. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Potato. He's been Rhapsody. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Adios.